Close your eyes and picture a T-Rex. Was it a loud, awesome, and terrifying roar? What if I told you that the sound you associate with the dinosaur is a complete fiction?
Oh, there it is.
And it's simply not possible to know what these animals sounded like. That sound didn't come from science, it came from the cinema. Dinosaurs went extinct about 65 million years ago, according to most sources. Modern human ancestors started popping up about 300,000 years ago. So it's not just that no one really knows what dinosaurs sounded like. No human being in history even heard a big one roar. It wasn't an issue with silent movies at the start of cinema. But when King Kong premiered in 1933, filmmakers had to get inventive. As this time, the audiences were to hear dinosaurs on the big screen. And thus, the lie was born. To be fair to them, they didn't completely disregard science knowledge, as Mary Spivak, the sound editor, consulted with a vertebrate paleontologist, and rather than go for full roars, also incorporated hiss and croak. But of course, they needed to awe the audience, so a mix of animal sounds, slowed down and lowered pitch was the first generation of dinosaur sound that people heard. And started to be associated with these primordial monsters. The idea of mixing various animal sounds that we know, plus adding a musical element like the low tones of double bass strings, quickly became the trend that took hold in Hollywood. Not only with dinosaurs, but also with kaiju monsters like Godzilla, which is a sort of dinosaur-like creature. Now, over the decades, the illusion of what dinosaurs sound like stuck to this template. Deep, loud roars mixed with hissing and snarls. But of course, modern audiences think of the Jurassic Park franchise when someone asks about dinosaurs. The original 1993 movie won 2 Oscars for sound editing and mixing.
The Oscar goes to Jurassic Park.
The Oscar goes to Gary Rydstrom and Richard Himes, Jurassic Park.
One would expect that they may have gone with a more scientifically accurate portrayal, right? We wouldn't give awards for lies, right? Wrong.
Hold on to your butts.
Because the goal was not to create a factual tone, but rather an iconic sound that feels real. They didn't invent the sound lie, they perfected it. OG sound designer Gary Rydstrom built upon the previous dinosaur sounds.
We blended the two elements together, so I had the low frequency walrus with the high frequency.
Combining animal noises with music and sound effects to give it a natural but otherworldly voice. T-Rex is a mix of an alligator, lion, and a baby elephant. Velociraptors built from tortoise mating sounds, horse, goose, and people. Brachiosaurus and Triceratops were similar to make the iconic tones. When asked about Jurassic Park's sound, Rydstrom said, "We weren't trying to be accurate. We were trying to be memorable." And while they definitely won on that front, the real science took a backseat. Without real recordings from the Mesozoic era when dinosaurs roamed the earth, movies filled the void.
I see you. Back up.
And the rest of pop culture followed with toys, theme park rides, and also documentaries shaping our view of the awesome dinosaur sound.
For T-Rex, a light snack.
Reinforced in us from an early age. Paleontologists And teachers often give in to these fake sounds, even in museums and exhibitions. Even documentaries, which are more accurate than Jurassic Park and often consult scientists and paleontologists, prefer to take the Hollywood route when it comes to the sound of our favorite giant reptiles.
Contests over carcasses are common.
We accept this lie because it sounds right. Large animals usually produce a roar-like sound. And so, like others point out, it is plausible to our ears that dinosaurs would sound the same, even though the growing evidence suggests that their biology was quite different to what we assume, and the sound they would produce would be different too.
As a general rule, the larger the animal is, the deeper the sound it makes. But for a lot of dinosaurs, they make higher pitched sounds than we might expect.
But how far off is what we hear in the movies from the actual science? Well, remember the Velociraptor resonating chamber from Jurassic Park 3?
I give you the resonating chamber of a velociraptor. Listen to this.
According to the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, there was no such thing. Not only did the chamber not exist, but even if it did, it wouldn't mimic the sound of the dinosaurs just by blowing into it. It would just amplify the sound to make it louder. And when it comes to other dinosaurs, scientists research sound that, at least they believe, are more accurate than the film fiction. Like T-Rex could potentially communicate with low-frequency sound, infrasound, so not loud roars, but rather inaudible to us frequencies that we would feel in our body, and they wouldn't even have to open their mouth to emit that. Similar to Parasaurolophus, which potentially pushed air through its long cranial crest to emit booming, low-frequency sounds. When scientists discovered parts of Pinocosaurus' larynx and compared it to crocodiles and birds, they speculated that the dinosaur could produce a wide range of growls, rumbles and chirps. And without a proper subwoofer, it would be difficult to reproduce them in your home. Even though we know more about these reptiles, fossils can't tell us about the muscles and how they communicated. We can compare it to crocodiles, birds, and speculate based on how these animals make sounds, but it isn't actual preserved recordings of dinosaurs. And never will. Movies, TV, and pop culture gave voice to these extinct and fascinating creatures. We never questioned it because it sounds cool on a screen. It makes the scene memorable. And sounding cool beats sounding correct. But ultimately, the actual science is far from fiction, and the reality, low, boomy, resonant frequencies, as much as it is fascinating, would be a hard sell to the audiences that expect a certain sound. Thanks for watching.
皆さん、こんにちは。